Good morning. Today is April the 30th, 2018. This is the work session of the Board of Stark County Commissioners. Today, Bill Smith and Janet Creighton are in attendance. Richard is excused as a family matter to attend to. And with that, Brant, would you want to kind of tee us up here as to our discussion?
A little bit of an aberrational way of bringing a street onto the county's books. I think we're going to talk about the extension of Strip Avenue and how Jackson Township wants to approach that. Usually a developer would have done that and been bringing it to us, and it's happening in a little different way. So I don't know whether Joe or Mike or Deb or who wants to tee off about why, what actually is being requested of the board and the way that
I could kick it off.
And before you speak, just for the record, would you first identify yourself before, as anyone takes a turn to speak, identify themselves for the record? Thank you.
All right, I'm Joe Underwood, County Subdivision Engineer. And Jackson Township has a project, Strip Avenue Extension. It's about 2,000 lineal feet of road that's going to extend Strip Avenue up to Apple Grove. And the construction plans have been approved, and they want to submit a final plat probably in the next couple of weeks. Standard procedure is for a developer to submit a performance bond with the final plat since the construction isn't complete, and that's what we want to discuss this morning.
Mike?
Oh, yeah. Good morning, Mike Vaccaro on behalf of Jackson Township. So let me give you kind of a quick overview where we are with the project. This is a big project, largely because there's a couple main gas lines that run through this property, and we are in a short window to take those offline between April and August, either 1 or 31st. Can't recall right off the top of my head. But that is all the time we have to get particular grading done, and then the new gas line dropped in and up and running, obviously, by August for the fall season. The township has, as part of this project, done considerable work with Dominion to meet their deadlines. And really where we're at is, as Mr. Underwood has stated, is submitting final plat. The right-of-way is being donated by the landowner. Township is obviously putting this road in. It will help relieve a significant amount of car traffic, we believe, off Portage, Whipple, and hopefully Frank, and will give folks coming from the east an alternative route. The bond. Because we are a political entity, we're asking the commissioners and RPC to make a waiver of that or an exception. I am willing to provide, and have provided a draft copy of a performance agreement indicating the township will bring the road to final completion. And that's kind of where we're at. We'd like to get that before the board as soon as possible. And that final plat, I think once that's in, we're ready to go. Well, I shouldn't say we're ready to go. The Board of Trustees has yet to award the construction contract. We just opened bids last Tuesday. They range from 1.8 to 1.4 million. That does not include the gas line work, which is approximately another 500,000. So we're right there at budget. Any other questions you would have?
I would just turn to Deb. I mean, this is unusual, is it not, that a township comes to, or an entity comes to us and we do not
A public
require
entity.
a public entity?
Deborah Dawson, Stark County Prosecutor's Office. Forget what
Thank
you
you.
said. You're welcome.
Thank you. That's-
It's encouraging.
Mike approached me, and then he and Joe and I sat down last week, I think it was, yeah. I talked to David first about this concept. David is in Riverside. Of having it, because it's a political subdivision, of having a bond with no security, is that the phrase it's used?
Right.
For the township. However, there are two detention ponds for the life of me, I don't get the difference between detention and retention, but whatever. Big ponds, and one is almost completed, if I'm correct.
Yeah. There's 2 stormwater management basins. One is actually shown on the drawing. It's up there by Apple Grove, and you can kind of see it right there. I don't have as-built on that. There's also a fence to be put around it. Few odds and ends to do. That was actually completed when the commercial facility over there to the left was done, the Spectrum facility. So, and then there's one to the south, and about where,
It's not built yet.
it's not
Built
built,
that track.
but, yeah, right in there, anyway. But I've estimated the construction cost to finish the one basin, do the other one at $254,000. And the developer, I don't know if he's here or not.
No, his representative called me, indicated he could not.
I've never met him, so, but his representative has been Brian Ashman to me. And actually, Brian gave me an estimate of $260,000, but he had some other work in there, so I established $254,000. What I've told Brian was that work will need to be bonded. So this is going to be a little unusual. We're going to have 2 performance bonds. The one by Jackson Township and the one by Dressler Properties. And they don't have a problem with that. So Dressler's Properties bond, I don't have it yet, but it will be secured by funds in escrow or, some kind of monies. The one that's proposed by the township, Mike, if you want to discuss that a little bit, it's just an agreement.
Straight agreement that we're going to perform, bring the road to final completion. Obviously, then waiting for the board of commissioners to turn it over to the township, where we will be responsible for the long-term maintenance of, minus the retention or detention.
So that would follow the normal trajectory of a
Once you get to that
plat.
point.
Anyway, it's just they're taking the place of the developer. And unlike a typical developer who can go bankrupt, Jackson Township cannot go bankrupt, right? Or at least we hope not. Nobody's in Michigan.
Dave,
So-
do you have, I'm sorry.
Have they donated the right?
I'm sorry.
That's why we're waiting for the
Randy,
final
or
plat.
Dave, did you have
They
something
sign
you
that,
wanted to
that
add?
will be donated.
As soon as they sign the final plat, they will own Jackson.
We're waiting on Dave Breitenstein.
Well, Dave has nothing to share in this particular moment, so.
Okay. Randy?
I'd like to shed a little more light on this because of the question, or I guess it wasn't a question as much as a statement. We started this project probably 10 years ago. We've been working on it for a very long time, and in fact, we had Brant and the commissioner-elect at that time out to discuss this project and all other projects. We have another road. This is not going to be an idea. We have another road we're currently working on, the township, and the answer to your question, I think that you're thinking about, this road will be ours. It's not going to be a county road, it's going to be a township road. We'll pave it, we'll maintain it, it's going to be a township mileage in there. The money is set aside, so there is no problem with this. There will be an encumbrance for the completion of the job. It is exactly what, as the Economic Development Director, it is exactly everything we're trying to work on. It is a JED, it's already formed, there is a JED board. Canton is contributing part of their income tax as part of this job to pay for, it's a $500,000 relocation of that gas line, which Canton is contributing to, so the JED board is in place. There will be a TIF when the businesses come there. We will TIF all of those businesses to get our money back. So between the income tax, the answer to your question, I think, is why it's unusual. Between the income tax and the TIF dollars, Jackson Township will make itself whole for building this road. In the meantime, we're going to greatly improve the transportation because this road, if you think about it, if you're on Apple Grove and you're coming in from Plain Township, North Canton, anywhere on the eastern side of the town or county, you're going to drive down that street. You could literally get on where this comes out and take it all the way to West Tusk. You know, it becomes, Strip Avenue becomes Dressler and Woodlawn. Those are all lined up. It also takes a lot of the traffic off of the existing Whipple Avenue. If you're coming from North Canton or Plain now, you come down, you make that left on Whipple, and you're coming down Portage. So we're going to eliminate a lot of the traffic. So it's everything you want to look at. It is a private-public partnership with all of the economic development tools that Representative Schuring has given us.
And no one's saying it's not, it's just unusual, and so we have to discuss those nuances, that's all.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
Grant, there's another one coming at us, so we would like to get that
Okay.
settled now, because we have another one that we will be going out to bid on very shortly.
And do you want to share with us where that is? or-
It is Keck Park, we own that property, we're gonna make a,
Keck Park?
Keck, with a K.
K-E-C-K.
K-E-C-K. We're gonna make that a small office park.
Okay.
We have a main tenant coming in there that's going to be about 250 jobs in a $14 million building, and we're going to build a road into that area.
And on that development, they've submitted a preliminary plan to regional planning, and it's been approved.
Okay.
And I'm waiting on the construction drawings for.
Brant, it was your third choice.
Oh,
Type in again.
Marshallville?
Now we lost it.
Marshallville,
No,
right there.
no. It was a, come up.
Go to Strausser and
Just go to
241.
Strasser
Or put McDonald's Church.
or McDonaldsville Church. There you go.
So if we can discuss that
Yeah.
now, that would save you time then coming.
Absolutely.
Is that okay,
And-
Grant? I mean, yeah, I think it would save us time if you just want to give us.
Sure. And again, the reason the JED will be worked out with that quickly too, because what we want to be able to do is anybody that's working there, not just the jobs that will be created there, but the construction jobs will be paying income tax from the first shovel of dirt that's lifted will be gaining.
So we own, the township owns approximately 30 acres. This is, the front nine is what is currently known as Keck Park, and we own this back to here. So the road will come in right off of here, and then development will ensue, we hope. You know, we feel pretty good about it. The front part of this is high value, is that what we say, Joe? High
It's
value
wetlands.
wetlands.
It's wetlands.
So that really will be undisturbed. And, you know, the township's plan is to cut in a walking path, still kind of maintain that park vibe, if you will. There's a spot in here, it's hard to see through the tree cover, but that will support a picnic canopy, pavilion.
Yes.
So that's tentatively the plan.
So is that a driveway that comes out
This
right there?
right
So
here.
it would be between the church and that driveway is where the entrance would be?
Right here, yep. So we're in discussions with this owner.
Okay.
And
They are considering vacating the driveway and deeding it to us for a cut to the road and create a new frontage. In fact, the owner just emailed me over the weekend about it, so they see it as a plus for them because it
And then-
might bring some utilities back to them, like water, high-speed internet, sewer possibility.
that-
So-
your county sewer engineer has been very helpful. We met with them. Actually, Mayor Burnaby and the sewer engineer and our team met, and they gave us like 3 or 4 different options of how to do that, how to get the sewer back there. And it's going to have to be a forced main, but we've worked that out. And again, Canton's taking care of that with their portion of the income tax from the JED. That's what they're going to bring to the table.
So 250 jobs back there? Wow.
Correct.
Great. And is that a new company?
Can't say.
Okay. I knew I'd get to that point. I I knew I was going to get the stop sign pretty soon. Anything from our county engineer? Any concerns, anything you need to bring to our attention?
No, Dave Torrance from the engineer's office, and no, we were involved with the township in the early preliminary work on the project. We've been aware of their progress. No concerns from our standpoint.
And the fact that it isn't a county road, that's.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
Well, there's a joint, you want to discuss the joint application at the other end?
Yeah, oops, cuts off a little too quick. We are looking at a project that ties in with Apple Grove right there at the north terminus of Worcester.
June, whatever it is, meeting at RPC, then it would be come to the board here a week or two later, so that will be in June.
But as far as action on the bond, it's
On the bond.
That happens with the final plat.
with the final.
Oh, okay.
That cuts in some time.
Wow. Yeah.
Would the board consider a special meeting to maybe advance that?
A
It's
special
not ready
meeting.
yet.
No, once we clear RPC with the board, because
It happens at the same time. I mean, they see the final plat and the performance bond.
right, but I thought you said there was
When's
a
RPC?
2-week gap.
There will be, you know, like May 17th, I didn't see a calendar in
It's
here.
the RPC calendar you need to work with. We meet
You know,
weekly, they
Yeah,
meet
it's on our
monthly.
calendar.
They-
All right.
After
we would meet-
after it goes
That's
through
our 60
RPC,
days.
then
On the
it'll come to the
23rd.
board over here about a week later. but-
Okay.
I guess I would ask, do you have to have the plat for you guys to waive the performance bond for the township? Because the issue is, we're up against a date with Ohio Dominion.
Well, they wouldn't accept the plat if there wasn't a bond typically.
Well,
If they accept it without
what
one.
Mike submitted isn't waiving the performance bond. There is a performance bond, but it's just an agreement in writing that, you know, the
we do
township
that?
will complete the road.
And can we do that without having the plat? I mean,
No, without the plat, the bond means nothing. I mean, they happen at
If they
the same
accept the
time.
plat, then they've accepted the plat. If they don't require a bond, then they just can choose to waive that based on whatever agreement. So it happens at the same time. I was just trying to get a feel for your timing on
It's
it.
RPC's calendar.
There's,
I'm sorry, what, Debbie?
It's RPC's calendar.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
so Joe, there's no waivers they can get, or nothing of any help that they could get to move this
They
along
just meet
quicker?
once a month.
I mean, obviously, if they get some sort of waiver, but they would still have to go through the normal meetings, but in the meantime, they could keep moving.
Well, what they're needing to do is get that road dedicated. And you can't, I don't
Like
think you
what
can
came first,
waive
the
that.
chicken, yeah.
I mean,
Well, the board,
you know, to get it recorded.
Because I'm looking at their time frame here. It's
Yeah.
pretty tight. I mean, the moment we would say we'd say yay or nay. I mean, yay would say they gotta have a shovel right at the dirt, ready to go, and then some.
It has to go through all those steps.
from what you're hearing today, though, the 23rd,
Carts being
Yes,
okay
it
with
would
putting
have
it on
to
the
be,
as
yeah.
is,
Yeah.
They can start.
You might want to talk a bit, like, do you guys have to have the streets dedicated before you start construction?
that's what he just said. Don't have any-
Well, see, the construction plans are approved. So you could be constructing today then.
Well, I do have a backup for that, which is I gave to Dressler's representative a easement, right-of-way easement that we may plug in until the final plat would get done. And I've already shared that with Mr. Ashman, so we would record that, giving us the easement, and then once the final dedication came through, there's what I'm not sure of. What do you know, David, does the plot override that easement? I'm sorry?
Could extinguish it, couldn't
That's what I'm wondering. Well, that's the thing, we could maybe put some extinguishment language in.
upon acceptance of the plat,
Plot,
the easement.
yeah. I just,
I mean, we can chat afterwards. It's- I don't know that the board's going to be concerned about this detail right now.
You guys talking?
Yeah,
Okay.
a couple lawyers in the room. All mucked in.
They'll get it all settled.
We have a room full of politicians and lawyers.
And,
If that's not a recipe for success,
Possibly go wrong.
okay, so you're going to chat, we're going to find a resolution, we're going to move ahead. We know that it will be on the calendar as far as we know on May the 23rd.
That's what it sounds like.
What will be on the calendar?
The plat.
No, filing deadline's May 17th for the June meeting.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, they have not filed.
Talk about
yet.
our-
They
RTCs.
haven't filed yet.
Oh.
When's their May meeting?
That's not what I thought I
They
heard.
don't, well, the May meeting is next
I am
week.
back in June.
But the filing deadline's the 17th of
What if they
each
file
month.
before the deadline?
They missed the May meeting,
So if they get their easement, and they start construction, they're just flying without a net at this point, and then they're assuming it goes through you, and then it goes through us, and if it does, everything's fine, they're already bulldozed ahead. But if something would be a hiccup in there, then they've kind of put their tushy out there financially, what you're saying.
I don't know, developers do that, that's how it's done, is they do
Well,
construction out there.
that would be between them and the developer, the developer and the contractor.
Well, they are.
But they're becoming,
They are the
they're
developer,
stepping
so they're their own developer.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it's done all the time. Most of these allotments are like 60, 70% complete, then they file the final
That
plat.
may be, okay, we're fortunate the low bidder was Wenger Excavating, who is I talked to Fred Parcher yesterday, in fact, and they're contracting with Beaver to move all the land, and Beaver's the same one Fitzpatrick's using. So I think that they can start that groundwork without they have to build that catch basin first, because the catch basin is the shoulder of our road. So there can be action taken.
Yeah, they've got a lot of work to do.
Yep.
That's the only way they'll get it done.
Yeah.
So, well, I guess what I'm saying is the final plat really isn't holding up the construction.
Correct. I get what you're saying.
Yeah. But this meeting was just to make sure that that performance bond that they're going to post is acceptable, you know, without, funds in escrow, that type thing.
It was his idea.
I'm looking for you too.
Security.
Just for the session.
I'm not going to express opinion here.
Okay.
So the topic's been warmed up.
Okay. We'll
I'll
just-
keep you
yeah.
informed as per the
It's
discussion.
fast forward for Jackson Township and for the county. Great.
Why aren't you digging yet?
Yeah, what do you say?
It's been 5 minutes.
Yeah.
and it stopped raining 10 minutes ago. So.
There more than likely to be another one of these at Tamashannon too. Will be coming.
So this would be the third one then, because now we have this
I
one,
think Tammy,
Keck,
there'll probably
and-
be a road that we will
Okay.
build and maintain.
Is that one planned to be a public?
We don't know that for sure,
We don't
but I
know
would
yet.
think it's probably going to be.
What else do you have for us, Randy? You keep giving us and another.
Wait long enough.
Find anchors, we'd love to, obviously, you guys want more sales tax, we want to fill that up, but we're building this road. We don't have an anchor lined up for it right now. But Tammy's moving well with anchors.
Oh, Anything else from Jackson Township or anyone else that's here for the good of the order? No? All right. Thank you all for coming.